Hey folks, Lester here, and today we are at I'm a Survivor Sanctuary, where we'll be going around doing all of our basic farm show. Okay. Oh Lord.
Why are you wearing a do-rag?
It's not a do-rag, Brienne. It was a gift, okay? It's a gift.
It might have been a gift, but it is still a do-rag.
Bree, it is a gift, and I don't do that. If I'm gifted something, then I will wear it.
You look so handsome.
I'm glad you're here. I have to take that horse and let her run out for a little bit.
Oh, I was just coming down
and
to
I'm
take her for a
terrified.
walk.
Well, good. It's time for her walk then, but you gotta let her run a little bit as well, okay? Come on. I'm gonna do, so I was just now starting my video. Morning, folks. Lester here, hanging out with Brienne, or Bri-Pat, as we all call her. You notice I just get here, and here she comes a-running.
I didn't even know you
Which
were
means
here.
she was peeping out of her little windows, looking around. The hat is a gift, and I wear gifts. I feel like I'm one of those medieval warriors with those funny hats they wore.
Yeah.
So
like it would go on under your big helmet.
I'm actually going to wear it under my hat because I just cannot take myself serious like this, Bree. This is a little bit better. Offers great protection for my ears and my neck, which is the whole point of it. Bree and I are going to tag team a little horse issue today. She'll take the horse for a walk. I'm going to clean the stalls, redo the water, all of that. And then I'm going to come show you a secret that I discovered, okay?
Okay.
But once you're out and about with her.
Why are you scared of this horse?
I'm not scared. That's the whole thing.
Because I sent you that video clip, what she tried to do to me.
Why are you not? Put the parking brake on. I can't.
The parking brake don't work. I'll hold the brake down, okay?
Brienne, did you post that video?
Yeah.
Brienne did send me a video where the horse reared up and tried to, yeah.
My phone just almost fell in that bucket of water. We're not doing that. Ooh, shoot. I told her she wasn't gonna kick me, and she said, well, watch this then.
Yeah, well, I don't need to kick you. I got front legs too. Anyway, yeah, you can do that if you want to, and I'll do my part, and then at some point we'll meet up together. How about that?
Sounds good.
This will be a fun video.
Look at her. Look at her.
She's bored. She wants to come out for a little bit. All right, my sweet girl. Please do not rear up. Do me like you did to Bree.
At least if she does, you've got the halter in your hand this time.
Bree,
you can pull her back down.
Why do you think everyone likes these rope halters compared to these traditional halters that you and I know how to use? What's up with the rope halters?
I don't know what's up with the rope halters. I don't like this specific halter because it doesn't have a clip on it.
On the bottom.
And you have to actually undo the, here, let me push this mule out of the way some.
She said, I don't like to be in confined spaces. Come on, sweet girl.
I don't know how a rope halter works very well, so I don't use them.
Come on, sweetie. Oh boy. Let's walk through here, Bree.
Okay.
But I have my tractor parked over there. What am I, hey? Don't get too close behind the Bree because you get spooked kind of easily. Hang on a little bit. Bree, this is really awesome how she likes to run. Oh
yeah, I see her out my window running laps when she gets set free.
Hold on, love. Now, there are cows here in her normal pasture. And I'm not going to take a chance on her getting that cow up in that corner. So what I'm going to do, Brienne, are you still videoing?
Yeah.
What I'm going to do is close this big gate over here and let her run around in this area, okay?
Okay.
So watch this. Prepare yourself, Bree. You ready?
Yeah, ready.
She may want to eat first. Some water.
You're so beautiful, Rita. Such a pretty girl. Oh, there's only a few crumbs in there for you, huh? Not the box.
That's that cow dewormer, and she doesn't need to be eating that. Horses and cows should not really be having the same kind of ingredients. Right now, you know what she's doing? She just wants to eat something.
Yeah, she's bored. She's looking for something to mess with.
Hold the lead rope, and I will get a little bite for her to eat, and then we'll let her run.
Rita, let's get you off that block, baby. Come on. Come on. Rita, I don't know that that's for horses either. Why don't you just go for a run, Rita? Why don't you just go? She's fine.
She knows what's going on. Here, baby, here. Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that the horses and cows should not have the same things. Foods
Yeah.
are specially made for horses that are not made for cows, and vice versa. They have different stomach types. Did you know that?
Yep.
And then, so that block behind you is a cow deworming block. Horses have dewormers. Now, you know all this. I'm just saying this for the folks who may not know. Horses have their own types of dewormers, but they don't normally eat from a cow deworming block.
Speaking of, have you guys dewormed her yet?
We have dewormed her.
Good deal. I was curious about that.
Just 2 days ago, actually. And I think she might be feeling better.
She looks like she's feeling better.
Yeah.
She looks better.
She does look better. Look at all my cows very upset with me for feeding her. I'm working right now with a horse. I'll come to y'all later.
Gonna act like y'all are starving.
I know. All right, so we're gonna change focus now. Let Bri work with Señorita. I want to talk about my cows because something that a lot of you guys noticed, and I'm not denying it. Guys, they're getting skinny. Every single one of them. I'll zoom into them all, but you can see we got ribs showing in every last one of them. Now, Pearl has always been skinny, so we really can't evaluate and judge Pearl as much. But friends, you just have to understand that it's a very harsh time of year. It's extremely harsh temperatures. We have no rain. We haven't had rain, a significant amount of rain in forever. And there's not a cattleman, my friends. There's not a cattleman who's not having a little bit of a tough time with his cows. And so a lot of you may be saying, then Lester, if there's not much grass and you need to overcompensate in the grain department. But listen to me. We've played around with that, and all that does is lead to colicky cows. So we are in a tough situation, and we're making I'm not going to argue with you about it. We're in a very tough situation, and we do have bones showing that we don't like to see all these bones. We don't like to see all these ribs. But now Santana here is also nursing. That makes her, have to do the work of two, really. But and then, of course, you all know that we have opened up all of the back to allow them to forage. But I've never said that foraging will keep them fat. Foraging keeps them alive, y'all. Foraging keeps them alive. What they need is good green grass and supplements. And so I do believe that despite the fact that you hate seeing the cows look a little bit thinner than they normally do, if you just could understand for a minute the conditions they're having to survive through, then I think you would understand. Hay is more of a filler. Guys, I don't want to feel like I'm talking down to you or trying to dummy down my videos, but I am trying to teach them for those who don't know. Hay is more of a filler. It's not full of nutrition. You're not going to have your cows ever get fat off of hay, but it will keep their bellies full where they're not walking around hungry. I'm trying to think of something similar in the human world, something that may fill your belly. Believe it or not, this is going to sound a little bizarre, but she actually looks really good. Why is it that she looks really good? Baby, what are you doing that they're not? And then I think, is it because of her coloring where you just can't see her bone structure as much? Because I don't see any ribs on her. Her little hip is not protruding so far like it is on like on all the other babies. And so I am a little bit concerned. Now, then again, she could be pregnant, and that might put a little extra weight on her as well. Or maybe not put extra weight, but redistribute her weight to where you can't see it as much. Last thing I'm going to say is that they're only in this pasture now because you saw we wanted to keep them separated from our horse. We did not want Señorita running around either chasing the cows or even worse, getting the cows pushed off into one of these corners and ended up, kicking at them. So as soon as Brienne is finished walking Señorita, then I will by all means open up that big steel gate that I have closed, and we'll let our cows out into their corral again, and I'm going to go ahead and feed up at this point. It's late afternoon. It's almost 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And even though it's a little bit earlier than what we normally feed, I want to be out of here and back to Longhorn Lester's before 6 or 7 to do my chores over there. So now I wanted to address that because I saw it myself in yesterday's video. I read the comments. I read all the comments. I don't always reply to each and every one of them because I feel like I'm a broken record repeating myself. So sometimes it's easier for me to address a concern in a video. And so, yes, our cows are not looking their best. I'm acknowledging that. And I'm not trying to look for excuses except for the fact of you can see for yourselves that despite our 11 acres of cleared property and then our additional 15 acres of wooded property, there's just nothing green, y'all. There's not enough green to be living their very best life. But as always, I will reemphasize this. We have out mineral blocks. We have salt blocks. You see Santana looking on one right now. We have out fresh water in our watering troughs. You see Charlene's having her a drink of water right now. We have deworming blocks. You saw Señorita trying to eat one a minute ago. Those are cow deworming blocks. We have, did I say mineral blocks? We have every block sulfur. We have protein licks. We are keeping everything that we can think of out and about so they can hopefully just keep working until this drought is over. So thank you for allowing me to explain that. All right, so Brienne has walked down with Señorita.
She's trying to take me home now.
Oh, she wants to go home.
So I don't want her to think she can tell me where to go. So we're gonna walk right here by the exit to home.
Gotcha. Well, I want to walk down and show you guys. I should have brought the side-by-side, but I didn't. I'm going to walk down and show you what Mr. Leo's doing now. If y'all will give me a second, I know you don't want to walk all the way with me, but don't forget that Mr. Leo never finished the work here. He has finally found a break between small jobs, and so he's come back to do a little bit of things here and there. And then what's scary about that is I says, Leo, I says, there's already some grass growing out there. I says, not much, but I don't want you to start digging more and take away the little bit of grass that I have. So I did ask him to do me a special job, and I want to show you what he's doing. So give me a second. You gonna follow me? Yeah. Is it because she's demanding it or because you want to?
I want her to.
Why don't you let her go and see what happens? Or are you scared to?
I was kind of scared too with that back gate open.
Oh, she can't go anywhere. She'll come back.
Okay.
I didn't do a before picture. I should have. It's always neat to see what it looks like before and then after. But if you can recall back to older videos, you remember we used to have big piles of dirt like that all along through here. And so what Mr. Leo is doing is knocking these piles of dirt down, and he's building up my driveway and the road over here. And so that's going to be a huge advantage for when it starts raining again. If it ever rains here again, we'll have better roads, higher roads. The elevation of your road always needs to be higher than the ground around it. That way your water will run off the road. And now I'm going to walk over and show you what he's done along the fence line. All right, so right here's where he started. You guys know we have a burn ban. There's a burn ban in effect, which means we cannot burn. And for good reason. You all saw what happened recently at Longhorn Lester's. So what Mr. Leo did was took all of the piles that he had piled up. There were several. There was one there. There was one down there. There was one here behind me. He took all of those piles of limbs and trees that he'd never burnt, and he pushed them all along the fence line over here. And I know you're saying, Lester, that makes your fence lines look really nasty. No. Well, yes, they do look nasty. It's kind of ragtag. But at the same time, it will do a lot to keep our animals contained. And please don't forget, this is a temporary fence. This is a very temporary fence that eventually, whenever my dad gets to a point in his life when he's ready to deed off some of his property to his children, I will come by and redo all of my fences the right way. But for now, friends, this stuff like this, these pretty large limbs and logs and piles of stuff like this will do a lot to keep the animals, the bulls and the heifers, from trying to jump over. I would like to take this one here and push it a little bit closer. That would be nice. But for now, this is where he's moving all of those piles. And so eventually what I will do, and when I say eventually, I mean, you know, whenever my dad decides to start deeding property, I'll come from that far corner right there where my finger's pointing and go all the way back to the river. And this will all become part of my pasture. And when I do that, all of this can be burnt then. This fence can all be taken down. I'll burn all of that. And it'll all just be one big extension of the property. But for now, he's able to do this without tearing up too much of the little bit of grass that we have growing back here. He's also kind of cleaning up some of these roots and stubble so that we can eventually come over here with our own tractors and mow. So I feel like no one can take me serious when I have stuff like this on my head.
They can't.
I talked to Jake for a few minutes and he wouldn't even look at me. He would just kept looking down. Brienne's here and she won't look at me. Even Señorita's running the other way.
She's leaving. She's done.
She's done with me. She's so done with me. But hey, someone gives you a gift, y'all. You have to wear it. You can't just put it in the closet and say, I'm not going to wear that. So I wear it. There goes Señorita. Ay, Dios mío. Ahí va Señorita. Here she comes.
Survivor. I'm a survivor, survivor. Who will be the ultimate survivor? Let's find out when you spend the day in our shoes. All you creators, our sanctuary is waiting. Who will win the title? Well, it could be you. Survivor, survivor. I'm a survivor.